I don't want nobody to see my soft side. I don't want nobody to even play with me like that. You know what I'm saying? I'd much rather lay home and chill, relax, be with my kids, lay up next to a girl. But can't nobody else know that. If somebody else, call me a bitch ass nigga or even treat me like a bitch ass nigga, I beat the shit out of
Period. Yeah, it's a texting, phone call, FaceTime, date. Please don't fall in love. Never ever fall in love with me. Hold on, hold on. Please don't fall in love. Never ever fall in love with me. Hold on, girl, I'm just a bird. When you get close, I'm gon' fly away. Even with a broken wing. Even when I should say, you can love me from a distance, take a picture. I ain't tripping, I don't need to miss a bird. When you get close, I'm gon' fly away. Even with a broken wing. Even when I should say, I'm a grown ass man, I ain't playing. I'm just trying to make you understand. Please don't fall in love. All right, you guys, we have Tony. Well, you know what? Introduce yourself, cause tell them who you are.
Yeah, this is Tonystoner, man. I'm sitting in here with my cousin. This is actually my real cousin, my first cousin. I'm Tony Stoner, the artist, the creator, the entertainer, all the above. Just remember me.
Let's go. So I'm excited about this interview. Because we were just having a conversation, and I feel like I really, number one, I'm your cousin, but I'm also a fan of your music. I feel like you offer a lot of emotion, right? And so we
Right.
were talking about just like emotions for males. So let's start with your show. You had a show 2 days ago,
Oh
Valentine's Day.
man, that was
So
crazy.
tell us about your show. What was the name of your show and all of that? And tell us about it. What was your
So
vision?
basically, the show was basically my transition through love through adulthood. I called it the Tony Stoner Bleeding Heart Show. Now, whether people know or not, the reason I call it the Bleeding Heart Show is actually because the show wasn't necessarily targeted, but it was about a certain person, and like right above their heart, they got like this big little red mark or whatever, and I always call that her heart bleeding out or whatever. So that's why it was called the Bleeding Heart Show. But I did the show in two parts.
Okay.
And the first part was basically in the times where I wasn't really looking for love and stuff like that. I was kind of running from it, telling people not to, fall for me and stuff like that. And then towards the end of the show, towards the end of the first part, it kind of showed how, you know, how her and I met each other. Then I did the outfit change. When I did the outfit change, that was basically me showing like at this point I'm in love, like I'm covered in red. You feel me? So at that point, it was basically the story of how our love came together and then fell apart very quickly and shit like that. But it was a great show. I had a great turnout. And I mean, I got drunk, forgot the last half, but it was a good show. It was a good show, and I appreciated everybody that came there. I definitely want to say that. I can't say that enough. I appreciate everybody that came to the show.
For sure. So, I'm about to go back because I feel like you do not fit the script, which is perfect, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
most guys who sing about like most guys would have named their show that, right? And so
Right,
like
right.
that's really I was like I gotta come to this. I gotta see what Cuz is talking about.
Yeah.
But like take us back to your childhood. Like were you always like in tune with with love, with emotions? What were you like as a kid? Take us back to where you from, all of that.
I was in and out of it. Like I was raised in Georgia, in the countryside of Georgia. I don't really want to tell everybody where I'm from, but
Okay.
I was raised in the countryside of Georgia, not far from Augusta. And honestly, when I was a lot younger and stuff like that, it was like I was a very loving child. I always wanted to please my parents. I didn't want to disappoint my parents and stuff like that. So a lot of things I just wouldn't do because I didn't want them to be disappointed in me and stuff like that. But it was like as I got older and I just experienced adults a lot more than I should have, you know, I kind of turned cold. I turned really cold and real resentful. And it was like, to me, I got more attention for the negative things that I did than the positive things. I was on honor roll all the way up to middle school,
Wow.
but I was never rewarded for my grades or anything like that. But every single time I did something wrong, I got attention from every adult in my life. So
So what I'm hearing is like you was looking for that those affirmations for somebody to speak
yeah,
positive words into you, and it seemed like doing it the right way, even though they were saying this is the way to go. You wasn't getting what you really needed or felt fulfilled from doing the right thing.
right.
So what was, and then you went down the other road. What was that when you say it was a turning point, right? Because like your name is Tony Stoner. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So when I think even I mean stoner is like yes, like smoking, but also like stone, like dang, like it's hard. So like what was that transition? Was it like a moment? Like, if you could think back, was there a moment that you just was like, "I'm going cold"?
Yeah, it actually was. Like my whole life, I looked up to my dad, and my dad, he was never really around. He was never really around. Like I would say, my whole life and my whole childhood, when I really consider myself being a child, like right before preteens and stuff like that. He really wasn't around. He was always on the phone and through letters and stuff like that. And I always would even defend my dad in every situation. But it was like the first time I actually got to spend some time with my dad, it went completely south. I spent like 2 weeks with him, and you know, on the last day, and now as an adult, I understand it more than ever. But on the last day, he got frustrated because he didn't get to do everything that he wanted to do with me in the time that he had with me. So he kind of relapsed. He well, not no kind of. He relapsed on the drugs. He had issues with things like that, and it caused him to return back to the house when I was sleeping. And he always told me to take all my jewelry off and take, any money I had on me. I would take that stuff off before I went to sleep, set it off to the side, so that if somebody was to come in and rob me, they wouldn't kill me to get it off of me and stuff like that. And I just never thought that the person that would come in and rob me would be my own dad. So I don't think I don't think nobody else really noticed how that affected me because I never said nothing about it. I didn't even tell my mom it happened.
Wait, so this happened. You experienced this. You look up to your dad. You know, you get to spend that time with him, and now you experiencing it, so you're not telling nobody what's going on. So are you acting different? Like, and also, I know I'm asking a lot of questions, but
Nah, go ahead.
how did that affect? Like, do you feel like that affects your trust today, or like how you
Oh,
trust people?
absolutely. I don't
Oh,
fuck with no males. That's the first male that was ever in my life. I watched him beat my ass, my mama ass, my sister's ass. He beat all of us up until the point where he went to jail for less years than he beat us for. So I never really trusted any men.
so you said it affect you. It's like he went to jail, but it wasn't for that long. So sorry. Go ahead. Where we were leaving off at?
Nah, it basically fucked up my trust with men. Like I always looked at men as if they couldn't be trusted. Cause these two men I used to watch stand up in front of the church and preach the good word. You feel me? It's like my dad. Even when I spent that time with him, it was like I watched him preach all these good words to people and stuff like that. And it's like he kept me in the church, and so did my stepdad at the time and stuff like that. So to me, it definitely pulled me away from the church. That was the moment I stopped going to Bible study and stuff like that. Um, and it fucked up my trust as far as like men and stuff like that. Like any grown man, I would look at grown men. Even, I don't care what position they held. I look at them like I bet he fucking his family up.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Like especially black men because that's what I saw do it.
So it just made you feel like you can't even trust them at all.
Yeah.
And then I also heard you said that this is the time that pulled you away from your faith. And before I even go into that, y'all know I'm his cousin, but I literally remember them coming down from down south, and y'all used to sing gospel songs. Like y'all was there, y'all like there's certain songs when I think of childhood that I remember that y'all knew from church. So I was like, yo, like you look at like my memory. I'm trying to think of yo, hold on. When I think of it, because I don't want to be
I
on,
know I don't
but
remember none of
when I say it, I wonder if you gonna remember. But y'all used to be singing. I'm like, yo, y'all was putting me. They was putting me on to gospel, but also other music too. But anyway, sorry, that was a detour. But I see you got like because you even wearing a cross. So like, where do you stand with your faith now, right? Because with all of that happening, like, where's your faith now?
I don't have a religion. I feel like religion is more so the practice. I believe in a higher power. I don't go by name because I don't know which religion is right, which religion is wrong. But I believe in a higher power. God is the easiest. Um, relation, like the easiest name I can relate to. So that's usually how I reference. But I don't have a religion. I just have that relationship to where I speak to God and I pray and stuff like that. I read the Bible,
Okay.
but I don't actually have a religion. I don't actually practice anything and live by anybody's religious rules and stuff like that.
I feel that.
Yeah.
Look. Sorry, I'm trying to think of like when we. So, because like that's interesting to me. It's like a lot of times, sometimes when we have that feeling about just where to go, right? Trying to find our faith, and then also those relationships. I'm forgetting this mic is sensitive. The relationships, it could really like we just trying to figure out our way because we like, dang, I had these experiences, but then people are saying God is this kind of way. So even me just thinking about the other story you were saying. So where you at now? Like where now you're an adult. You went through those different experiences in your life. Finding your way. You're a dad now. How's that for you? What's up with father? He lit up.
Honestly, being a dad is great.
Mm-hmm.
Being a dad is great. Like I never felt like that unconditional love until I got it from my kids. Like with my kids, it don't matter what I do. I can make the mistake one day and the next day they still want me to be their daddy. They still want to embrace me. They still want to spend as much time with me as possible. Whether I have to discipline them, whether I have to um like pull back on my word or change plans or anything like that, they always just happy that I'm their dad and that I get to spend that time with them. So it's like my kids, the first unconditional love I ever felt. Like no matter what, I'll always be their daddy. They can't get another one. And it's like I just appreciate that. So I try my best to make it like the best experience ever, give them something I ain't never had and shit.
You said give your kids something you never had. What are your goals for your kids? Like we doing this interview now, but your kids gonna see this like 20, 30. When they get into their adulthood. And so what are your what's your goals as a dad for your kids? Like what do you want to see for your kids in life?
Honestly, I want my kids to become whatever they dream of because I don't feel like anybody really contributed to my dreams. Mm-hmm. Like my dreams always existed. I always made music ever since I was about 11 years old. That's when I recorded my first song. Mm-hmm. And I just want my kids to become whatever they want to become, and they know that I got their back. And shit, when I'm gone, I hope my work take care of my kids way past my existence. I hope like everything that I do is the beginning of an empire that they can just carry on and be like, yeah, my dad did that. Mm-hmm. I had the greatest daddy I could have had. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's all I really want. I don't want them to be nothing that I want them to be.
Yeah.
I want them to be whatever they turn out to be, just the best at it.
I love that.
Yeah.
So we got you in fatherhood. We got you in artist mode.
I haven't always been like this though. I fucked up a lot. Because before my kids, I had other people that looked up to me. I fucked up a lot.
What you mean?
Well, I got my little brother. With my little brother, I felt like I was the man of the house because my mom, she was a single mom and stuff like that. So it was like I felt like I had to prepare him for the world and stuff like that. And I had a real fucked up view of the world and how like all the different things that I had been through in just that young amount of time. So like out in the midst of me trying to prepare him for it, it's like I want him to be tough so that all the things that I went through wouldn't affect him as badly as they affected me. But at the same time, he never would have had to go through all those things had I not ever put him through it. Mm. It's like the world didn't do him the same way that it did me. So it's like everything that I suffered from everybody, he suffered from only me.
Wow.
And yeah, I see that now. Like I put a lot of shit in him that I had to undo. I had to come back and tell him like, nah, that ain't the way it really is. That was just a young person interpreting the world in the best way that they could. And around that same time, I was 15 when my nephew was born. And my nephew, he act just like me. Like he act just like me. So it's like stuff that I had he kind of following that same path to where it's like I'm trying to undo things that I said was a way of life back then. You know, he watched me become a man, but he watched me make all those mistakes. I wasn't the person who had the knowledge to tell him that this shit shouldn't be glorified. I was the one glorifying it, like, you better be gangster. You better be this, you better be that. Versus me telling him, yeah, I'm just this way because I don't want to have to, I don't want nobody to see my soft side. I don't want nobody to even play with me like that. You know what I'm saying? Like I say all the time, I'm a bitch ass nigga. Like, yeah, I'm a bitch ass nigga. I'd much rather lay home and chill, relax, be with my kids, lay up next to a girl, be all soft. And yeah, I like that. But can't nobody else know that. You know, can't nobody else play with me like that. If somebody else, you know, call me a bitch ass nigga or even treat me like a bitch ass nigga, I beat the shit out of you. So it's like, I think everybody bitch ass niggas. I be looking at all these niggas in the street like, yeah, you a bitch ass nigga. Cause I can come fuck you up right now. And I want to be home with my bitch. So I can only imagine what you think about it. You know, like we all just do what we got to do in order for us to not be treated a certain way or not have to feel a certain way. You know, like
Yeah.
I don't want nobody ever to treat me like I'm the abused kid. So you ever come play with me like I am that, I'm gonna show you like I'm tougher than you.
Yeah.
But I can look in the mirror and say, yeah, I'm a bitch ass nigga. I much rather chill. I much rather not be on none of that shit. But I can be. I'm harder than a lot of niggas, and I say that about myself.
Do you feel like you will ever feel like it's safe to put your guards down, or like when do you know it's safe?
I put my guards down every day. Right around the time my kids get out of school, I put my guard down. every day, every day. Right when my kids get out, man, it's like I don't have to be that person with them, and that's what I love the most. Like I be talking in a high tone voice, like I'm talking to a puppy or something. Like, you know, like when I talk to my kids, I don't even sound like this. Like this is my natural voice, but I soften it up for my kids. I put a lot more oxygen out of it or something. I don't know what I'm doing, but it's like when I'm talking to my kids, I'm not even the same person because it's like I don't want them to feel like, you know, like they daddy got to be hard, they daddy got to be this and that. You know what I'm saying? My whole life I thought my daddy was gangster. It ain't working in my favor. So it's like I want my kids to just know like can't nobody play with their daddy. But for them, like they ain't never got that to worry about. Never. I don't even whoop my kids.
So yeah, so you're agreeing with you fall in line with the soft parenting because you know the old generation is not with
Nah,
that.
I don't whoop my kids because I don't have to.
Okay.
They great kids.
Yeah.
They great kids and they very smart. Like they very smart. I've never got to a point where I felt like I actually had to physically hurt my child to get a point across.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like when I like you hear my voice when I'm talking and stuff like that. I talk to my kids and I say something that's wrong. They ready to break down in the tears right then and there. And it's like, why would I hit that? Why would I
Yeah.
hit my child?
Yeah.
You know, and if I ever was to hit my child, it'll never be more than once. It'll never be out of anger. They can come in here and wreck my whole fucking house. But it's like, if I get angry about it, I'm not gonna put my hands on my kids. I just can't do it. I can't do it because I feel like I'm having an adult feeling that I'm trying to make them understand as kids.
Yeah.
And I was exposed to that shit way too soon. They don't understand why the person they look to protect them is whooping their ass.
Yeah.
You know, I don't care what conversations you have after that. The conversation was all you ever needed. My kids, they so great. They very understanding. Anytime I say something to them, they very understanding. They ask a lot of questions, and I got a lot of answers. Like they very understanding. So I never found a reason to hit my kids.
Now, I know you are actually really good with parenting and understanding kids. One time I saw you with your nephew. He was this was this past Thanksgiving last year, crying at the table. You went, took him on a walk, had a conversation with him, calmed
Yeah.
him down. Where does that come from?
I ain't had it, but I had all those feelings.
Hmm.
But I ain't had nobody that actually like take my feelings personal. You know what I mean? And it's
Mm-hmm.
just like I know what that feel like. Like, and they respect you for that. I know at some point he's gonna be a teenager that I want to listen to me.
Yeah.
I don't want to be no uncle that just pop in trying to lay down law. Like he always cared about my feelings. So obviously, what he's saying is something I should listen to. So anytime, anytime I can, like I treat my sister's kids like mine. Anytime I can get a lesson out, I'm gonna do it. Because I put a lot of bad lessons out there, bad examples, not lessons, because it wasn't really lessons I was giving, it was just examples. I put some bad examples out there, and it's like I feel like I owe it to my family to be a good example. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying they got bad dads or anything like that, but life take us in different directions and stuff like that. So it's like any good man you can have in your life is, what I'm saying.
Let me ask you a question. If you had to give me a definition, what would you say a good man is? Like a good man is what? Like or like a man in general. What is a man? A real man, I would say.
A man is somebody who does what they has to do no matter what circumstances they placed in. They do it to the best of their ability you know, without trying to affect anybody else other than in good ways, good positive ways. So a man is his circumstances and what he does in his circumstances. Other than that covers pretty much everything. Like we're gonna be placed in circumstances and situations all day. A man is every bit of decision he make, every decision you make. Because as a man, you have to pay for your decisions immediately. There's no safety net.
Yeah, because he's like the head of the household.
Yeah.
So you talk about a lot of love that you needed, love that you give to your kids. Before we close out, I gotta go into your love life. So what he said, Jason? What? So, what's your love life like right now? Like, what's your take on love?
Fuck that shit.
Okay.
Fuck that shit. It's not really fuck that shit because I got love. Like I really do. I'm still in love with somebody that don't fuck with me, but it's cool. That's just life. Keep it pushing. But honestly, every time I ever fell in love, it was a failed relationship. Every bitch I ever had cheated on me. So like I ain't no tender ass nigga, nothing like that. I just take notes to the signs and I move differently. And honestly, I wasted not my youth because I'm still young as fuck, but I wasted a lot of valuable years trying to satisfy other people and trying to understand women and shit like that. And those I feel like was years I could have contributed to my success. So yeah, any young man out there, don't be searching for love. Enjoy yourself. Enjoy yourself, man. And I'm not saying enjoy yourself like just live life recklessly because time don't go backwards. It's always calculated decisions, but it's when it comes to that love, like if you find somebody that's really for you, then rock with them, keep it solid. But the moment you see anything you dislike, understand that it's not going nowhere. So if you can live with it, live with it. If you can't, get the fuck out of there. Don't waste your time. Don't waste your years. Don't waste your breath. Don't waste your feelings. I promise you, the person you meet is the person that you keep. And shit, that's just how it feels. Like,
So you mentioned that you're still in love right now.
yeah.
Is this the person you're gonna keep or no? You don't have to tell us this. You don't have to tell us this,
Man,
but
look, nah. I'm gonna be honest. It's probably a wrap for that because I fucked up. You can never make a person choose between. Well, you can't make a woman because a man will do it. A man will do it, but you can never make a woman choose between the family she was born into and the family she created. You can't make a woman do that. Women, they too emotional. They like to have their circle. They like to have, what I'm saying, the women they lead on. The woman leads on her mom until the day she's done. So I kind of came in between that, and it'd be too much. Like,
yeah, you don't have to go into detail for us because
the case still open. So
And
Yeah.
so we respect that, but that
Yeah.
is important to think about. The family structure. I know they was talking about this is speculation, but they were saying the same thing about Jeezy, the rapper, and
Mm-hmm.
Jeannie Mai. I guess like they were saying her mom like lived in the house and was like a blended family, which is sometimes it's hard, right? Because it's
It's
like you
very
said,
difficult
yeah,
unless your mom respects your relationship and respects the boundaries of it. Like you can't have too much input into what two grown people doing. You know what I'm saying? Unless you finna go in there and coach them in the bedroom too. It's a whole part
I'm
of it.
done.
Nah, I'm for real. Like that's a whole part of it that you could never even witness. That you could never even like be able to understand. Like their intimacy is their intimacy. No two persons' intimacy is the same. So the things that me and my daughter's mom shared versus the relationship that her and her mom had, it'll always be different. When you try to intertwine them and weigh them against each other, one gonna always lose, and it's usually whichever one is the newest.
I feel that.
So
Yeah, sometimes we can't really control how things go,
yeah, but
but
fuck that shit.
we go with the punches. Are you open to love still? Is your heart still bleeding out? Like what's going on?
Nah, it wasn't my heart that was bleeding.
Okay,
The bleeding heart show wasn't my heart.
that was hers.
Yeah,
Wow.
it was hers. It wasn't about my heart. It was about hers. But honestly, no, not at this moment. Everything's subject to change. But
Yeah.
at this moment, I'm not I'm not open to love. I'm open to hustle. I'm open to my grind and stuff like that. Cause like I said, I feel like I wasted a lot of years on, trying to understand that shit. And those years I could have contributed to my career. And I just feel like as long as I'm as long as I'm a certain way, I'm gonna attract a certain type.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna just focus on my hustle right now, and hopefully when I'm full hustle mode and I'm in my grind, you know what I mean. Whoever I run into is on the same type of energy, whether it's somebody from my past or somebody new. As of right now,
What type you trying to attract? Say, ladies, listen now.
nah, I never. Anytime I'm talking to a woman, I never tell them what I like.
Okay.
I never tell them what I like because that's just a blueprint of everything that you can fake up until the point where it don't work for you no more. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't tell women what I like because it's easy to follow the guidelines. Like if a woman tell me what she like, I can fake like I'm that nigga for 5 years just to wax that ass.
Talk about it. They out here.
But
Yeah,
I can act like it, like because in them 5 years, it's not like I just been sitting here 5 years waiting on you to give it up. I'm just playing my role until you actually give it up that day. All in between them 5 years, I'm still fucking with other bitches and shit. So it's not like I'm fiending for pussy. It's not like I sat and waited 5 years for your pussy.
hey, you gonna what if your kids see this years from now? Say no, just go.
Nah, that's real shit.
No,
That
I
I,
know
I
what you.
want them to know that too. I want them to know that a dude can fix his mouth to say anything. So don't sit up there and lay out everything that you want from like it's nothing wrong to tell somebody what you expect in your relationship if that's where y'all going.
Yeah.
But to sit there and say, I like this, I like that, I like this, I like that, I like when a woman do this and I like when a woman do that, you're gonna be sitting there having somebody faking it and that someday the real them gonna come out.
Yeah, I call it the mask.
Mm-hmm.
I call it the mask. We going down a different lane, but
Nah, go ahead.
I like to talk about that because I was talking about this a couple weeks ago on another podcast. Like, when someone goes on their first date, like I
Mm-hmm.
hate the first date because the first date sometimes you dress fake, right? You eat fake, you
Mm-hmm.
talk fake,
It's all fake.
everything is fake,
Except
right?
for my first dates, but yeah, it's all fake.
A lot of it is fake, right? And so it's like, how do you get past the mask? I know you say, and it's just like, or like, how do you feel about dealing with that whole thing? Like, I know you meet women and they wearing a mask. Like, how do you, like, have you
I
ever had
break
experience like that?
absolutely. I
What
feel like
happened?
every single woman that deal with me wearing that mask, I break that shit down
How? Like, what's your?
because I don't pay attention to none of that shit right there. I pay attention to what they actually doing.
Okay.
You feel me? If a woman tell me like she a clean woman, but she'll walk into my house when it's not up to par and shit like that and don't do nothing, then she don't mind being in the junkie space. I pay
Wow.
attention to the things she doing. You know what I'm saying? Like let's say me and this woman, we fuck around, we fuck, and she go right to sleep. She don't clean her pussy. She don't. She
Oh
don't,
my gosh.
her hygiene ain't up to par. You know what I'm saying? She don't take care of herself like that. I'm in the bathroom washing myself down. You know what I'm saying? Or like sometimes, you know what I'm saying? I know what, like I come in there and wipe a bitch down myself, but she acting all surprised and shit like, oh, this ain't something you do, huh? That's just telltale signs. You know, I pay attention to those things. Now, I used to be like, yeah, I can make a female become whatever I wanna like, but it's like now I realize whatever you get is what you keep.
So paying attention to the details.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like just the little details and stuff like that. You'll see it. You'll see whether a woman care about your well being and shit like that. Like she come in here, she open your refrigerator. She the next time she come over, I bet she bring some food with you if you ain't had nothing in there, or she pay attention to the different things you like. Like it was this one chick, I fuck with her for real. Shorty opened my refrigerator and basically took notes of every juice that I like.
Wow.
Yeah, when she came back, she must have had every juice the store sold because it was like, like I appreciate shit like that though, because you know that's somebody that's really paying attention to you as much as you paying attention to them. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not gonna say people don't change. I'm not gonna say people don't change, but you're not gonna see no drastic changes for no other person. People change for themselves and for the betterment of themselves. And if her having a bad hygiene ain't never caused her no problems in life, she ain't gonna change that shit for you. And if hygiene is one of your requirements, which it is. See, I don't like the list of things I like, but that's one of them. That's one of them. You feel me? If you gonna make any changes for a nigga, make that change. Like I love a woman that take great care of themselves. But I take way too much care of myself, and like I don't need to smell you on me. That's right. Not in a bad way, in a good way. Hell yeah, got me walking around smelling like rose petals and shit. Like that's cool, but you got me walking around this bitch smelling like Papados. That's different.
All right. All right, so I want to switch it up real quick. I got a question for you. I don't know if anyone ever asked you this. So, what was the inspiration behind like your different color hair? Because I really like it. I feel like it gives a whole. It's like a different look. It's a signature look. So, what made you dye your hair that color or like go with that look?
For sure. Everybody got locks, right? Mm-hmm. And first, I did it with I put my smaller locks together and stuff. But everybody got locks, and I just felt like nothing made me different. You feel me? Like my description was pretty broad. The tall, lanky dude with the locks. That was like 10 niggas at the job I was working at. Mm-hmm. But the tall, lanky nigga with the blonde locks.
That's different.
Oh, you talking about Tony? Yeah, it's like I'm different, and I want to look different too. It's like I know I'm different. I want to look different too. So it was just me expressing, you know, my artistry and stuff like that. Because when I first did it, I actually went orange.
For real?
Yeah, I went orange at first. It wasn't this bright, you know. I was scared of the bleach a little bit. I barely went bright, but it was orange at first, and then I was just like, nah, I ain't putting no dye in it. I'm just going straight bleach, and I keep it like that. Redo my roots every time I see them. It's just like I know I'm different. You know, I know it's other people like me, but I'm not average.
Yeah.
And I don't want to look average either. I want people to know, like, it's something more to that dude. Mm-hmm. For him just to color his hair like that, to walk around with it like that, he got to have something more going on. He ain't just no basic whatever the fuck.
Yeah, it's like you got your own designer look. You designed it for yourself.
Ginger head giant, you know.
What'd you say? Oh, the ginger head giant?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. So, real quick, we were talking about your shirt. So tell us a little bit about the shirt, because I'm mad I don't have one.
Oh, man. These my OGs right here.
Okay.
These my OGs, and I really like this shirt because I ain't really get to spend much time with neither one of them in my childhood, but that's my pops right there. That's my grandma right there. And I also want to say, I spoke on my pops earlier about how he stole from me and stuff when I was young, but by the time my pops passed away about 3 years ago.
I'm glad you're bringing it back.
Going on 3 years ago, yeah. My pops passed away going on 3 years ago, but as an adult, we had one of the best relationships a father and a son could have. Like we were like best friends. We talked every single day. I used to wake him up in the morning. Like we talked every single day. I talked a lot of shit. I know I got on his nerves. I know I did, but we had like one of the greatest relationships a father and son could have. But he still had never saw me since I was 11.
Wow.
He's never seen me since I was 11. He don't know that I got bigger than him or nothing. Yeah.
Wow.
He's never saw me since I was 11 years old. It was one time, the only time he's actually looked me in my face since then was the one time that my cousin Nikki got him on FaceTime, Facebook Messenger, and we did a video call, but the signal went out in less than 30 seconds. He couldn't figure it out, but that was the only time he ever looked me in my face as an adult.
Wow.
Yeah, but we had a great relationship over the phone and stuff like that, all the way up from probably me being about 23, 24, all the way to the moment that he passed. I think I was like 27, 28. I was 28, yeah.
Yeah,
But
man.
this right here, that's my grandma. That's my pop's mom. She passed away when I was in third grade. Third grade, and I didn't even understand it. Like I remember her. She was always a great lady to me and stuff like that. She was a little strict on me though. She was a little strict on me. I ain't gonna lie. She was. I used to think it was just because I was a country kid from the South. You feel me? I thought she was just signaling me out, but she was a little strict on me. But I remember when she passed away, I went to my mama's bed. Like my mama woke up to me praying beside her bed, like I'm sitting beside her bed like this right here, praying or whatever. And she was like, "Why you crying?" Because I woke her up. She was like, "Why you crying?" I was like, "Shit, I don't know where she going." You feel me? Like I don't know where she going. I don't know what that means. Whatever. And she explained, heaven to me and stuff like that. And I was just like, yeah, but pretty much was made by two G's.
You said about 2 G's?
I come from two
Oh,
G's.
2 G's is not fact.
I come from some gangsters, man. Like,
so what's your relationship like with your mom? Because we talked a lot about your dad. What's it like with your mom?
it's great now. It's great now. It's always been pretty good. Like my mom, she always been around, even though she spent a lot of time working and stuff like that. But we had the conversations that we needed to have for us to have a great relationship because it was a lot of stuff that I distanced myself.
Dang, hold on. All right.
So like the relationship with my mom is good now because as an adult, I had all them conversations that I needed to have for us to have a good relationship. You know what I mean? Like I felt a lot of ways coming up and stuff like that. Like she treated my sisters differently than me. I felt like a lot of things that I supposed to have I missed out on, but I realized my mama ain't know how to raise no man. Of course she can set a good example for girls, but she don't know how to raise no man. And I grew up and I realized a lot of the things that I missed out on because I didn't have that male figure around. So like I did have certain conversations with my mom about where I feel like she made mistakes at and stuff like that because I needed to have them conversations for me to be who I am now. But I never really like blamed her for any of it because I understood. Like I'm too grown to like not understand now. You know what I mean? Like she did the best she could because before her and my dad had kids, she wasn't even a mother. My mother was adopted. So it's like she didn't even come around her parents. So it's like, but me and my mom, we got a real good relationship. Like that's my dog. I tell her everything. Like pretty much how me and my pops was when he passed away. My mom kind of like I think she realized that I was missing something because it's like she kind of stepped in and became that friend that he was to me. You know what I mean? So she talked to me and she checked on me the same way he used to do so. But before that, me and my mom, we would speak like once a month, like once every couple of weeks, which it was never bad. It was never a bad relationship. I just didn't need to talk to my mom that much. Now I talk to my mom almost every day.
Wow. That's
Yeah.
beautiful.
So yeah, I make sure I keep in touch with my folks and stuff like that, because I know a lot of them counting on me and shit like that, and I be counting on them too, not for like monetary shit or nothing like that. I'm talking about like I be counting on them just to let me know they still counting on me. Like
Yeah.
that's the biggest thing. Them letting me know they still counting on me, and that's all I need. That's all I need.
Yeah. Wow. Well, thank you. Before we close out though, I want to leave this interview on a high note, on a positive note.
For sure.
Um so what's something you proud of for yourself? Because a lot of times we give other people roses and all of that, but like what's something you like are really proud of at your for yourself right now and where you at in life?
Every situation I've ever been placed in, I learned from it. Like a lot of people, they go years and years and years not ever figuring out where they fucking up at and stuff like that. I've never been in the same type of situation twice.
Mm.
You know, I learned from every single situation I've ever been put in. And it's like everything that I want out of life, I don't quit till I win. Like I don't quit till I win. You can't beat me, because you gonna get tired before I do. So that's something I'm proud of with myself, like my diligence and my ability to like analyze the situation and realize what could have been done better and stuff like that. Very proud of that. And I'm proud of me as a father in some aspects. Got 3 kids and 3 mamas too. So it's like I didn't do well all the way around the board, but I'm proud of like the time that I spend with my kids. I'm proud that I've given them nothing but good times and shit like that. Like my kids love me. My kids love me, and they feel like I'm a great dad. Even though I feel like I can do so much better, they feel like I'm a great dad. So yeah, my parenting, my diligence, and like my intelligence. You know,
Yeah.
gotta be proud of that.
Definitely. Well, I want to say thank you,
For
Tony
sure.
Stoner.
Cause
Cause look, all of that, like, thank you for this interview. You
yeah,
know,
for sure.
just to really document life, like and just sit down with you and really see the person behind the music, right? Because we hear the lyrics, but when you get to know the person's heart, those lyrics hit different, or the
Yeah,
understanding of somebody hit different, and just to really show that. No matter who you are in the world, a lot of our stories are interconnected, right? Like even though we have different walks in life, some part of where we are, where we go, connects with each other. So thank you for sharing your story, and I hope that some young men they find themselves inspired listening to this. Like there's hope, like to reflect, to change, to become a different man, and then to lead the other men behind you. So
yeah,
I
for sure.
appreciate you.
I hope so. I hope
Yeah.
so. I
And
definitely hope
then
so.
where can they find you on social media, all of that, like tapping in?
I'm not hard to find. Tony Stoner. That's TonyStoner. I'm not hard to find anywhere. You can Google me. Just click on the first one you see every time. My music on all streaming platforms. Just look me up. Check me out. Check out my movies. Check out my music.
Got
Check me
movies.
out
Oh,
as
we
a
ain't even get
person.
into that, man. We're gonna have to run it back one day because we ain't even get into the
Yeah,
yo.
definitely work on the movies.
Yeah, so y'all heard it here first, y'all. Thank you for this interview,
For
cause
sure.
we out.
Period. Yeah, it's a texting, phone call, FaceTime, date.
Please don't fall in love. Never ever fall in love with me. Hold on, hold on. Please don't fall in love. Never ever fall in love with me. Hold on. Girl, I'm just a bird. When you get close, I'm gon' fly away. Even with a broken wing. Even when I should say, you can love me from a distance, take a picture. I ain't tripping. Girl, need to miss a bird. When you get close, I'm gon' fly away. Even with a broken wing. Even when I should stay, I'm a grown ass man. I ain't playing. I'm just trying to make you understand. Please don't fall in love. Never ever fall in love.